Romans chapter 8. Therefore, there is no longer any condemnation awaiting those who are in union with the Messiah Yeshua. Why? Because the Torah of the Spirit, which produces this life in union with Messiah Yeshua, has set me free from the Torah of sin and death. For what the Torah could not do by itself, because it lacked the power to make the old nature cooperate, Yahweh did by sending his own Son as a human being with a nature like our own sinful one, but without sin. Yahweh did this in order to deal with sin, and in doing so he executed the punishment against sin in human nature, so that the just requirement of the Torah might be fulfilled in us who do not run our lives according to what our old nature wants, but according to what the Spirit wants. For those who identify with their old nature set their minds on things of the old nature, but those who identify with the Spirit set their minds on the things of the Spirit. Having one's mind controlled by the old nature is death, but having one's mind controlled by the Spirit is life and shalom. For the mind controlled by the old nature is hostile to Yahweh, because it does not submit itself to Yahweh's Torah. Indeed, it cannot. Thus, those who identify with their old nature cannot please Yahweh. But you do not identify with your old nature, but with the Spirit, providing the Spirit of Yahweh is living inside you. For anyone who does not have the Spirit of the Messiah does not belong to him. However, if the Messiah is in you, then, on the one hand, the body is dead because of sin, while on the other hand, the Spirit is giving life because Yahweh considers you righteous. And if the Spirit of the one who raised Yeshua from the dead is living in you, then the one who raised the Messiah Yeshua from the dead will also give life to your mortal bodies through his Spirit living in you. So then, brothers, we don't owe a thing to our old nature that would require us to live according to our old nature. For if you live according to your old nature, you will certainly die. But if, by the Spirit, you keep putting to death the practices of the body, you will live. All who are led by Yahweh's Spirit are Yahweh's sons. For you did not receive a spirit of slavery to bring you back again into fear. On the contrary, you received the Spirit, who makes us sons and by whose power we cry out, Abba, that is, dear Father. The Spirit himself bears witness with our own spirits that we are children of Yahweh. And if we are children, then we are also heirs, heirs of Yahweh and joint heirs with the Messiah, provided we are suffering with him, in order also to be glorified with him. I don't think the sufferings we are going through now are even worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed to us in the future. The creation waits eagerly for the sons of Yahweh to be revealed. For the creation was made subject to frustration, not willingly, but because of the one who subjected it. But it was given a reliable hope that it too would be set free from its bondage to decay and would enjoy the freedom accompanying the glory that Yahweh's children will have. We know that until now, the whole creation has been groaning as with the pains of childbirth. And not only it, but we ourselves, who have the first fruits of the Spirit, groan inwardly as we continue waiting eagerly to be made sons, that is, to have our whole bodies redeemed and set free. It was in this hope that we were saved. But if we see what we hope for, it isn't hope. After all, who hopes for what he has already seen? But if we continue hoping for something we don't see, then we still wait eagerly for it with perseverance. Similarly, the Spirit helps us in our weakness, for we do not know how to pray the way we should. But the Spirit himself pleads on our behalf with groanings too deep for words. And the one who searches hearts knows exactly what the Spirit is thinking, because his pleadings for Yahweh's people accord with Yahweh's will. Furthermore, we know that Yahweh causes everything to work together for the good of those who love Yahweh and are called in accordance with his purpose. Because those whom he knew in advance, he also determined in advance would be conformed to the pattern of his Son, so that he might be the firstborn among many brothers. And those whom he thus determined in advance, he also called. And those whom he called, he also caused to be considered righteous. And those whom he caused to be considered righteous, he also glorified. What then are we to say to these things? If Yahweh is for us, who can be against us? He who did not spare even his own Son, but gave him up on behalf of us all. Is it possible that, having given us his Son, he would not give us everything else too? So who will bring a charge against Yahweh's chosen people? Certainly not Yahweh. He is the one who causes them to be considered righteous. Who punishes them? Certainly not the Messiah Yeshua, who died and, more than that, has been raised, is at the right hand of Yahweh and is actually pleading on our behalf. Who will separate us from the love of the Messiah? Trouble? Hardship? Persecution? Hunger? Poverty? Danger? War? As the Tanakh puts it, for your sake we are being put to death all day long. We are considered sheep to be slaughtered. No, in all these things we are super-conquerors, through the one who has loved us. For I am convinced that neither death nor life, neither angels nor other heavenly rulers, neither what exists nor what is coming, neither powers above nor powers below, nor any other created thing will be able to separate us from the love of Yahweh which comes to us through the Messiah Yeshua, our Savior.